What if I told you the secret to getting rich isn't about what you do, but what you avoid? Seriously. Today, we're diving into 7 major traps that a self-made multimillionaire named Mark Tilbury managed to sidestep on his journey from having basically nothing. And we're going to see how you can too.
This quote right here, this is the whole foundation. It's the core idea. It's all about playing the long game, saying no to the easy, comfortable stuff now so you can build something amazing for the long haul. And that really is the central question for us today. We're always told to chase things, right? Chase the money, chase the promotion, chase the status. But what if the real genius move is learning how to dodge the common pitfalls that keep everybody else running in place?
Okay, so let's get right into it. The first big idea is all about redefining your whole concept of value. Because honestly, this is where most people get tripped up right from the very start.
So, trap number 1, working only for the money. It's so tempting, right? You chase the highest salary you can get, right out of the gate. But it's kind of like wearing blinders. Sure, it feels good at the moment, but that path often leads straight to a dead end. Early on, money just can't be your only goal.
Just look at these 2 paths. Path A is that instant gratification, a nice paycheck from day 1. But then you hit a ceiling, and you hit it fast. Now look at Path B. This is the one the wealthy choose. It might start a little slower, but it's all about focusing on skills and equity, the 2 things that can actually grow exponentially over time.
And when I say equity, I'm not just throwing around some business buzzword. It's your ticket to real wealth. All it means is owning a piece of the pie, a slice of the business. It's how you finally stop trading your time for a paycheck and start having your money work for you.
So how do you get this equity? Well, you become so valuable they can't afford to lose you. You turn yourself into a Swiss Army knife. The more high-income skills you stack up, especially these skills for the digital age, the more leverage you have. You're not just an employee anymore, you're an asset.
All right, trap number 2. Oh, this is a big one, especially with social media everywhere. It's the pressure to look rich way before you actually are rich. We're talking about the flashy car, the designer clothes. It's all an illusion. It's smoke and mirrors. And if you don't believe me, just look at this number. It's kind of staggering. Nearly 40% of people can't even handle a tiny $400 emergency. So all that luxury you see online, a lot of times it's a fantasy built on a mountain of debt.
You see, every single dollar that comes into your hands gives you a choice. You can spend it on stuff that loses value the second you buy it. We call those depreciating items. Or you can put it into assets, things that actually work to grow your wealth over time. This simple choice, made over and over again, is what really separates the wealthy from everyone else.
So let's shift gears now and talk about strategy. Because it's not just about how you think about money, it's also about the actual game plan you use to make your career and your life decisions.
Trap number 3 is falling for the lone wolf myth. Look, you might be incredibly smart, you might be the best at what you do, but here's the hard truth. A great team will always beat a solo genius. Trying to do it all by yourself is a guaranteed way to limit your own potential.
And if you need proof, just look at the legendary PayPal Mafia. These weren't actual gangsters, of course. It was the early team from PayPal. People like Elon Musk, who, after they left, all supported each other. They invested in each other's companies, and they ended up creating some of the biggest businesses in the world, like YouTube, LinkedIn, and SpaceX. That is the insane power of collaboration.
But who you work with is only half the story. The other half is who you listen to. And that brings us to our next trap, which is basically a modern epidemic. Taking advice from literally everyone. Your parents, your friends, that random guy on TikTok. They all have something to say.
And does this feel familiar? You just feel stretched, pulled in all these different directions at once, completely overwhelmed.
Well, there's a name for that feeling. It's called cognitive overload. It's when your brain gets so swamped with information that it just freezes. You can't make a decision. You're paralyzed.
So what's the fix? You have to simplify. First, figure out your exact destination. Where are you trying to go? Then just work backward from there. Second, you have to be absolutely ruthless about cutting out the noise from people who haven't been where you want to go. And third, find the very few people who have actually achieved your goal and listen only to them.
Okay, this brings us to our final section, and it might just be the most important one of all. You can have the best strategy in the world, but if your own mind is working against you, you're never going to make it. Trap number 5 is arrogance, your ego. The person who thinks they know it all is the person who has officially stopped learning. Ego is a blinder. It makes you skip the small, boring, but crucial steps, and it makes you ignore advice from people who could totally change your trajectory. The iceberg principle is a perfect way to think about this. Everything you know right now, that's just the tiny tip of the iceberg you can see above the water. The massive, massive amount of knowledge is all underwater. An arrogant person completely forgets that huge chunk underneath even exists.
Next up is a habit that will absolutely poison any chance you have at success: blaming other people. It's so easy to do, right? Blame the economy, blame your boss, blame your past, but it's an endless game that leaves you completely powerless. I absolutely love this proverb. It says it all. The journey to success is an inside job. The second you stop blaming everything and everyone else and take total ownership, you're basically already there.
Think about it like this. Every single day, you can pick up one of two tools. You can pick up the magnifying glass and go around hyper-focusing on everyone else's flaws, making your excuses look bigger and bigger. Or you can pick up the mirror and focus on the only person you can actually control, yourself. And that brings us to the final trap. Number 7, staying static. Your comfort zone feels so safe and cozy, doesn't it? But it's not a safe harbor. It's actually a self-imposed prison where growth is impossible. Let's go back to Mark Tilbury, the man who inspired this whole thing. His entire career is a lesson in breaking out of that prison. He went from being an apprentice to taking a risk on a business loan to traveling to China to manufacture, and then, get this, starting a massive YouTube channel at age 53. Every single move was a deliberate step into the unknown. So, we've covered all 7 traps. They touch on how you see money, how you build a strategy, and how you manage your own mind. And really, each one of them is a prison we can choose to stay in. So, the real question isn't just knowing about these traps. It's about taking action. So take a look at the list, take a look in the mirror, and ask yourself, which one of these prisons are you going to break out of, starting today?